Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast.
Great to be here.
Today, we're looking into a story that really turned some heads. It involves Sharplink Gaming.
Right, the online performance marketing company focused on U.S. sports betting, global iGaming.
That's the one. They help operators get traffic, acquire players, uses that PAS.net platform, I believe.
Basically acting as a media affiliate. They direct users, to betting sites, online casinos. That's their core thing.
And they've been around a little while, formed in 2019, merged in 21, and just moved their corporate registration from Israel to Delaware this year.
That's right. A few changes along the way.
But the big news, the reason we're talking about them, is this massive private placement, $425 million.
Which is a huge sum for a company of their size.
Absolutely. And here's the really interesting part. The main reason for raising this money is to launch an Ethereum financial strategy.
Meaning they plan to buy Ethereum, ETH, with most of the proceeds, to hold it as their main capital reserve.
It's quite a pivot, and the market reacted, well, explosively is one word for it.
Oh, definitely. Reports of the stock price jumping.
Yeah.
What was it? Over 400%. Some even said 700%. Just immediately after the news broke.
Just incredible volatility. So today, we want to unpack this. What led Sharplink to make such a, well, unconventional move?
What are the details of the financing? Who's involved?
Exactly. And what could this mean for Sharplink, for iGaming, maybe even for Ethereum itself? We've got info from Binance Square articles, Sharplink's press releases, a due diligence report, regulatory notes. Quite a bit to work through.
Okay, let's start with the background. Before this big announcement, can you give us a bit more detail on their main business, performance marketing?
Yeah, so through that PAS.net platform, they basically provide advertising and lead generation services specifically for sports betting and iGaming operators.
So getting eyeballs, getting signups, getting depositors, it's all about player acquisition and conversion for their clients.
Pretty much. A specialized marketing service for the online gambling world. And they operate as a media affiliate.
Right, connecting players to platforms. They've been doing that since 2019 through the merger and the recent domicile change.
Okay, so that's the business. Now let's talk about the lead up. The sources suggest things weren't exactly rosy financially for Sharplink in 2024. What was going on?
Well, looking at their 2024 numbers, revenue took a pretty big hit, down 26.1% to around $3.66 million for the full year.
Okay, a significant drop.
And importantly, their core operations actually lost money, about $4.47 million net loss from that main business.
But I thought they reported an overall profit.
They did, but that profit came mostly from selling off parts of the business that weren't core to their main strategy, not from the actual performance marketing operations.
Okay. So the underlying engine was sputtering a bit, even if asset sales helped the bottom line number.
That definitely puts pressure on. And their cash situation wasn't great either. Reserves dropped sharply, down over 42% from the year before. They ended 2024 with only about $1.4 million in cash.
That's tight. Sounds like they needed cash.
Very tight. The sources definitely point to a funding gap.
But didn't they make a move earlier in the year to sort of shore things up, selling assets?
They did. Back in January 2024, they sold those non-core bits for $22.5 million cash.
Right.
And they used a big chunk of that, $19.4 million, to pay off debt. So they managed to clear all their interest-bearing liability.
Okay, so debt-free, which is good. But the core business is still losing money, and cash is low. You can see why they might be looking for, well, something new, a capital injection, and maybe a whole new plan.
It certainly puts that $425 million private placement into context. Announced May 27th, 2025.
Let's get into the details of that deal. $425 million is, again, a very large number for them. What's the explicit purpose?
The stated goal, very clearly, is to kick off an Ethereum treasury strategy. The plan is simple. Use the net proceeds to buy ETH.
And hold it.
And hold it, making Ethereum the company's primary capital reserve asset, not dollars, not bonds, ETH.
Wow, that's a commitment. What about the terms? How did they raise the money?
They sold shares. Over 69 million shares of common stock or equivalents.
And the price?
Mostly $6.15 per share. A bit higher, $6.72 for some of the management team who participated. All told, expected gross proceeds, around $425 million.
And the investors who came in on this, quite a few big names, especially from the crypto world.
Oh, yes. The lead investor is Consensus Software, very influential in the Ethereum space.
Definitely.
And then you have a whole list of other crypto VCs and funds: Perify Capital, Lecture Capital, Pantera, Arrington Capital, Galaxy Digital, Ondo, White Star,
GSR, HiveMind, Cuppers here.
Primitive Ventures, Republic Digital. It's a who's who of crypto investment.
And management put skin in the game, too.
They did. The CEO, Rob Fithian, CFO, Robert DeLucia, they both subscribed. The whole deal was handled by AGP Alliance Global Partners as the placement agent.
So serious backing from the crypto industry. And it wasn't just money changing hands. There's a governance aspect, too.
A very significant one. Joseph Lubin. He's the founder and CEO of Consensus, and also one of the co-founders of Ethereum itself. Yeah. He's expected to become Sharplink Gaming's chairman once the placement closes, which was expected around May 29th.
So Consensus isn't just investing, they're getting deeply involved strategically. Chairman position. That's big.
It suggests a much deeper alignment than just a simple investment.
Okay, so how does this connect back to Sharplink's existing business in gaming? It seems like they were already dipping their toes into blockchain waters.
That's true. The sources mentioned a move back in February 2025. Sharplink bought a 10% stake in a UK company called Crypto Casino.
What do?
They run a gambling platform that actually uses blockchain technology, accepts crypto. Sharplink invested $500,000 cash and got a right of first refusal for a controlling stake later on.
So they were already looking at this intersection. What's the potential synergy here, combining iGaming marketing with Web3?
Well, the thinking seems to be that blockchain could offer some advantages, maybe using it for things like player reward systems, making them more transparent or efficient.
We're using smart contracts somehow.
Potentially. Optimizing operations, maybe payouts. And the basic idea that blockchain is tamper-proof could help with, trust and data transparency issues sometimes seen in online gambling.
Makes sense. And from Consensus' side, what's their interest beyond the investment?
They see it as a strategic partnership. They've said they look forward to advising Sharplink on its core business. It seems to fit into their broader strategy of expanding the Ethereum ecosystem's reach into new areas, like gambling marketing.
Okay, so the market reaction. We mentioned the stock price surge. What else did the sources say about how this was received?
Well, beyond the stock price, community reaction was pretty divided.
How so?
Some people were really bullish, comparing it to maybe an Ethereum version of a strategy moment, companies holding large amounts of Bitcoin.
Right.
But others were much more skeptical, questioning if it was just short-term speculation driving the price, or even wondering if Sharplink might just become a kind of shell company primarily focused on holding ETH.
So a lot of debate. What about the impact on the Ethereum market itself?
Generally seen as a positive sign. It suggests growing interest from institutional-type investors in holding ETH as a treasury asset.
Is this common, though? Companies holding ETH as their main reserve?
No. The sources really stress how rare this is, especially making ETH the primary reserve.
What's more typical?
Well, you see some draft state laws in the UX talking about reserves, but they tend to focus on Bitcoin or stablecoins, or maybe allowing other cryptos only if they're received as donations.
I see.
Very few companies, particularly public ones, have gone all in on ETH like this. Sharplink's move is definitely an outlier, maybe a test case.
Okay, with any bold move comes risk. What are the main challenges and dangers highlighted in the sources?
The biggest, most obvious one is market volatility. ETH's price can swing wildly.
Right. So what's the risk there for Sharplink?
If the price of ETH drops significantly below what they paid for it, they could face asset impairment charges on their financial statements.
Meaning they'd have to report a loss.
Exactly. Even if they haven't sold the ETH, a sustained drop in value below their book value would hit their reported earnings. It's a direct financial statement risk tied to ETH's price.
That's a major exposure. What else?
Regulation. It's the other big uncertainty. The rules for crypto are still being figured out, globally and in the US, how companies can hold it, trade it, account for it.
And the gambling connection adds another layer.
It could. The intersection of online gambling, which is already heavily regulated state by state, and crypto might attract extra scrutiny from regulators. Compliance could get complicated.
Did the sources mention how Sharplink structured the deal in light of this?
They did note that Sharplink made a point of saying the placement was exempt from SEC registration under a specific rule. That suggests they were being careful, maybe trying to navigate the complex regulatory landscape for public offerings involving crypto.
And apart from the crypto risks, Sharplink itself, it has a history of being volatile.
Yes. The company's stock has seen big swings before this, and sources mention it was even close to being delisted from Nasdaq at one point previously. So there's that historical volatility to consider too.
So even though they've cleared their debt and now have this huge ETH war chest, the core challenge hasn't disappeared.
Not at all. Can they actually use this capital and this new strategy to build a sustainable, growing business? Can they turn around those core operating losses? That's still the key question.
And all while operating their original business in that complex patchwork of U.S. state gaming regulations for affiliates.
That underlying regulatory environment for their iGaming marketing side hasn't gone away either.
So, wrapping this up, Sharplink Gaming's decision to go all in on an Ethereum treasury strategy is, well, incredibly bold.
It really is.
Hmm.
Backed by major crypto players, it's a clear attempt to find growth and maybe leverage Web3 tech, especially given the pressures on their traditional business.
But it comes with massive risks. The volatility of ETH, the uncertain regulations for both crypto and online gaming.
Absolutely. Huge potential upside, but also significant potential downsides.
It leaves us with a pretty interesting thought for you, the listener. When you think about the volatility already present in the iGaming market, and then layer on the extreme volatility of cryptocurrency, how does holding an asset like Ethereum as your main reserve truly affect a company's stability and future prospects compared to holding traditional cash or equivalents? It's a fascinating gamble.
Definitely something to consider.
Thanks for joining us for this look into Sharplink Gaming's big move. If you found this useful, please do subscribe, like, and maybe leave a comment with your thoughts.